You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
Well, you should be in
just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Hello, and welcome people to another episode of the Final Thirds Premier League Game Week review on Game Week 25. Am I correct? Was it 26? Might be.
It's got to be 26, I think, because of these games in hand. It's like ruining everything.
Yeah, 26. We'll go with 26. And it was just blockbuster. It was Barclays. It was Pete Barclays this weekend, man. First of all, we have to stop off at the Etihad because the mad thing
That's
went down
where it really kicked off. That's where it really kicked off this week.
Tottenham off the back of 3 straight losses. Antonio Conte hasn't lost 4 straight games since I think the first year. Is ever?
He's never lost.
He's never lost 4 straight games. They came to the champions, came to the Etihad, champions that winning runs, top of the league, and everyone was thinking, yeah, that's just gonna. It's not.
You didn't know where they was gonna get. You didn't know where a loss was gonna come for with City. To be honest, when City get on these runs, always around November, stretching to February, you don't know where the loss is coming. And this is not the fixture that Tottenham wanted, but some Tottenham hopefuls would say, yeah, this is the fixture because apparently, I feel this is the fixture that proves Tottenham is City's bogey team.
Yeah, at this point, it's just it doesn't matter who the manager is. For some reason, Tottenham just have City's number. They just have City's number for some reason. I genuinely don't understand it. They turn up to Harry Kane deciding to defrost himself and become a footballer again against Man City that's just Barclays for you. Man's been performing like absolute dog for most of the season.
Dog.
He comes up against the team that wanted to sign him, and he says, "You lot are gonna see. You lot are gonna see. If you have any ambitions on Haaland this summer, put it away."
You know why they keep saying that? This is Harry Kane's like revenge. Why would he be revengeful to them? They wanted him. They tried everything to get him.
They tried. I like during the game, I was hearing more of the one that got away sort of feel like Martin Tyler was going in on that one. But
why was he doing that? Narrative is very, very flawed because they really wanted him. The only reason you aren't there is because of your own doing. It's because of your side of the bargain. Is Daniel Levy not letting you go? But anyway, it just suits the narrative, I guess. So let me not get into it. Let's get more into the game.
Ugo said Banks fresh off that dub, 3 points glow. Hey, you know the vibes. It's always
he knows the vibes.
The worst thing is everybody played. Yes, everyone played on Saturday, and everyone won. So everyone could just watch United calm, knowing we got our 3 points. You can just lock in and watch United just trip over themselves, be happy, have a happy Sunday. Luckily, that didn't happen. So yeah, 3 points glow. You always glow different when your team's winning. But yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into that City Tottenham game. What did you make of? We'll start contentious point that I don't think a lot of Kevin De Bruyne. Where do we see his performance today? Because I've got thoughts.
It wasn't good. And De Bruyne gets away with this. If we're actually being fair and we judge players of his caliber with the same yardstick, it's not. He has a couple of these performances in certain games, predominantly Tottenham games, if I'm being honest. He has these performances and it goes like we just forget about it, we just brush it under. And because when De Bruyne gets on the ball, he does like these, everything is always a dangerous attack with him. Almost Bruno-esque. Yeah. It's not because it works more often than not, we don't really question it. But he didn't play well. And him coming into the team and having to play in the team, exactly my point. Him having to play in the team and in his favoured position really hampered City because their best player is played out of position. The best player this season is then played out of position. So it's tough, really. It's swings and roundabouts in the sense of Cavoine is their best player on paper. So is it that you don't play him? You play him in a false nine, which doesn't work. I don't know, man.
Ricky saying Bruno and KDB are not in the same sentence. It's not Bruno-esque. I don't know, man. It was
No, they're
Henderson-esque
not in the same
yesterday.
sentence, but the
It was
action.
Henderson-esque yesterday because, man, if he was on that right side, he was straight away whipping the ball into the box every single time. Like, brother, just calm, relax. You play for City, kick ball a little. You don't need to throw in 100 crosses. And again, you made a good point on him playing in midfield moves other pieces about, and it kind of messes up what City have going on. Like for me, City's best midfield is Gundogan, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva. But if you have to throw Kevin De Bruyne back in there, it's gonna mess up that balance. And I just don't think KDB has been like I don't think he's involved in City's best midfield
That's the thing. It's
for
outgrown
more
him
than a
to
year.
some sort because it's for more than a year. CJ's over exaggerating by saying he hasn't played well. That comment there, but saying he hasn't played well since 2020, that's over exaggeration. But he
Yes,
hasn't played well. No, no, he was
is it
injured. He
really
was
over
no. Why I'm
exaggeration?
saying it's over exaggeration is because he was injured for a long part of the last title winning season, and then in between that,
And then
remember he had like,
City played their best football last
and
season
then he had
without
their
him.
games when he came back, and then he got injured again when like, it was the Palace. I remember the Palace game specifically. Everyone was like, "Oh, he was fantastic." That was 2021.
Again, nobody said he hasn't played well in 2021, but consistent. Okay,
No,
Jim
that's why I
said
said
that,
that
but
comment was. I said that comment
okay, yeah.
was.
I don't think he's played consistently well, been part of City's best team consistently since that period, like since 2020 probably. I'd say City's sort of moved on from
Yeah, they've learned to live without
KDB.
him,
Yeah,
and that's fine.
yeah, that's fine. There's actually nothing wrong with that. In terms of Tottenham, why do you think Tottenham were able to come away with this win? What did you see from Tottenham? Because remember in the last couple episodes you've been saying you ain't really seen nothing from Conte and Tottenham. They ain't really changed nothing. What did you see today that made them get the win?
Was that because we've seen it under Poch, we've seen it under Nuno, we've seen it under Jose, now we've seen it under Conte. Am I going to attribute that win to Conte? If all of the wins were similar, all of the wins were low blocks. All of the wins were low blocks, catch them on the counter, heavily dependent on Son. And then if Kane's there, he finishes, or whoever's there. Maybe it could Lucas Moura carries once in a while, but heavily dependent on Son, using him as just a springboard to launch the attack because no one can keep up with him. It's the same blueprint to beat City specifically. I know that tactic is very Conte-esque, the three at the back. They very low block, very rigid, and you just don't break structure no matter what, so that you can defend anything that comes within the box or within the danger area. And more so Conte, he doesn't, even though he lets you have it on the wings, he doesn't really because he's free at the back. His fullbacks are just so wide. And they're on job is that they limit the time you have on the wing, so they force you to try and play through the middle. I wouldn't say they did that, which was more Conte-esque. They didn't do that because Emerson Real was just not good at engaging. He was tucked in. He was kind of scared to be ISO on his flank. But
You don't want to see Sterling and Cancelo on that
yeah,
side.
but
I
the
can't lie.
blueprint, that's a very small part to a big piece. But the actual blueprint, the big piece of being rigid, being free at the back, not forcing them to play through the middle and it not working, that was enough. So I
I
wouldn't
think Romero
say.
was immense yesterday.
I think Eric
That
Dyer was strong.
Eric Dyer was strong, but Romero, like I think the goal, I don't think he deserved to be on the losing team, or even I don't think he deserved to be on the drawing team. The team that I don't think the draw would have even. I don't think the draw satisfies that performance because he was immense at the back.
How would you rate Bentancur's debut?
I'd give it like a 6. I'd give it a 6
I
because
feel
he
like
was.
I feel like the good he did outbalanced by the bad he did because he lost the ball in very, very,
It
very
was getting, yeah,
laughable
it was getting
situations.
pressed a
But
lot.
then
He
he
was getting pressed
also
a lot.
made last stitch tackles and like some good ball retention, which was like got them out of like high pressure
Yeah.
situations. So it was like, oh, that was nice, but why'd you lose the ball there? Like it was kind of,
I think
do you get
maybe
what I mean? Serious
there was a
imbalance.
period in the second half where he literally just wasn't switched on for like I think it was a couple minutes straight and he
It
kept
was
on
literally
losing the
like
ball
three
every
passions
time.
of play.
Yeah, CJ's
Oh, it
right.
wasn't his
It
debut.
wasn't his debut.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
it's not his full debut either. Yeah, no. But yeah, no. You're right about the fact that he's clearly a bit more comfortable in possession than a lot of Spurs' other CMs. So he was able to keep the ball in some situations and get them out onto the counter a bit more effectively than some of the other CMs. So it was a very mix and match performances. very mix and match performance. Ricky said, "Dia flowers. This platform never ceases to amaze me." Hey, we give flowers out when they're deserved. We give flowers out when they're deserved. If you deserve your flowers, they're gonna give them to you on the final third.
Oh man.
CJ said he wasn't the best, but his pass to Kulusevski for the third goal was quality. You're right. Kulusevski had a nice little game as well. I think he needs to show a bit more directness as a wing. If he's gonna be playing on the wing, he needs to show a bit more directness. But he
He's
was,
not fast enough, but he is, but he's not. It's weird.
yeah, he doesn't
Like, are
seem
you
light
fast
into.
enough? Like, is that to be that do you have that real acceleration?
That's it. That's it. To be fair, because you saw that he's got like a nice left foot, nice little, like he can do crosses and he can play couple nice passes. But like, what makes you a different threat on the wing?
Are we gonna
is
quickly
if
talk
you break
about
them on.
Laporte and Diaz? It's one off.
What do you want to talk about? Because I just think it was a bad day in the office for City. I just think it was a bad day in the office. I'm not gonna. I can't really draw out Diaz and Laporte because they've been a solid enough partnership for most of the year.
Stones is playing majority of the season.
It's even mad. Laporte was supposed. The thing with Pep and City, yeah, their players will say they want to leave, but I think most of them know the grass isn't greener. Because I'm even deep in like Laporte said he wanted to go.
Let's be honest. This is why I don't. They should stop letting Pep speak outside match situations, because Pep said some real foul stuff and very hypocritical stuff. Pep said the other day, "Oh yeah, as you can see, Bernardo Silva is one of the best players in the world." Pep, stop. Because at the start of the season, you said like Bernardo, Laporte, and Sterling were surplus to requirements. It's coming like they're very instrumental parts of this season. And Pep would have had no qualms if the money came in. He would have got rid of them. But to keep that City carousel turning, to keep the clogs turning, he just keeps all their players on their toes. All of you will fall out of favor with Pep once in a while. And it's like, to keep you motivated to get back on his good side, like, you try, I guess. And now Grealish is going through it. Grealish will be back.
Grealish will be back, I'm sure, at some point. CJ said Kyle Walker, question mark. Hey, when I tell you, I was watching this game, yeah, and you know when you're just like blessed at something that you don't even need to practice really, and you know you can still bang out. Like if you're playing FIFA and you're good at FIFA, like you can rock up on anybody's P4 and say, yeah, I'll take a game and I'll play you and I'll beat you. I think that's what Walker is with defending, you know, because he's not a good defender.
Walker knows he's not amazing going up front, right? So I feel like Walker's one of those players. When he was younger, he played on the wing or probably up front, depending on his size. But definitely because of his speed, he played in an attacking position, yeah. And then when it got to like a higher level, he realized, like, I'm not the best going forward. So then he just not really learned how to defend, but like was in defensive positions, and always like if he got ripped or in ISO situations, he always used his pace for the whole of his career. And this is what Tem was saying since 2014, back in
like it's mad because his athleticism has not changed.
It's the same thing when Tem used to say Walker's not as good as Klein. Nathaniel, like Walker wasn't as good as Klein, and I agreed back then. There was nothing. Walker was like, and he wasn't as big then, but like he was all pace. Walker was bad in the standing tackle, bad in the sliding tackle. Like wasn't the best in the air. Do you get what I mean? But if you do expose him or rip him, or if you are in a one-on-one situation, he's gonna get back if you give him a hard time. He's getting
back. That's it. He's getting back. He's getting back. His recovery time pace is just ridiculous. So more time he's like, you can get past him, but just know he's getting back. But even like we think about for the last goal, he's the one that gave it away. Sometimes your tech, like you can't hide.
You can't hide the tech. They're saying it wasn't Walker's fault. It was Walker's fault.
Nah, he gave the ball away for that fact. Like it was literally such an easy position as well.
And the jump in the air against Harry Kane. Harry Kane said, "Get off me!" and barged him up and just out jumped him. Come on, man. You didn't want that. You didn't want none of it. You didn't want any of it.
Perfect segue for Harry Kane because now we have to talk a little bit on that performance because literally dropped
So,
back
but some
into his
people are saying it's the
playmaking bag.
best. Some people are saying it's the best performance of the season. I feel like that's a stretch. Some
No,
people
I
are
don't
saying
think
it's
it's a
world
stretch, you know.
class.
I genuinely don't think it's a
Best
stretch.
performance of the season.
It's
If we dig
up
deep,
there. It's genuinely
if we dig deep into the archives, I feel like there's been some better
for this
performances
season.
this season. Well,
I
out of
think
every,
I think it's up there. I think it's
which
up there. This was genuinely it's a 9 out of 10 performance. I can't lie, 9 out of 10 performance minimum
my mind takes me to Foden, Phil Foden. Who did Foden next? Was it
against Liverpool. No, was it
Liverpool and
Liverpool?
Salah against Liverpool, against Salah against City.
I'm taking this Kane performance. I think I'm taking this Kane performance because he was doing a bit of everything. He was genuinely doing
Ronaldo
a bit
against
of everything.
Liverpool. Okay, okay, fair enough. It was good. So, because I thought Salah versus City was on.
Salah versus City and
Salah
Kane
versus City
versus
comes
City
to
are
mind.
the
Yeah,
ones
see,
that come to mind.
Salah versus City
Yeah.
comes to mind.
So
But I guess it's all
Nathan
about
also
goals
said
and
Salah versus City at Anfield was way better.
yeah, that's what I think. I think Salah versus City was sensational. That was world class. But Kane was good. Kane was good.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know what? I feel like why I'm not taking it as much is because the commentators were kind of talking it up before it was even happening. Like
You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Man brought a goalkeeper into the conversation.
okay. Jose Sars had some good performances as well. If we're gonna throw it for keepers, but okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. But this was always gonna be the storyline or the headline. He didn't get to play in the first game because he was on holiday. He was on holiday. But it was always gonna be the headline, and I'm genuinely surprised I actually lived up to expectation today because it was a brazy performance. Man dropped into the creative role, was out there doing one touch, weak foot passes, spraying about weak foot diags. It was a nuts performance. I can't lie, it was a nuts performance.
Something you tell your son to watch at a young age. Like, you want to play up front, little Tommy, get in there. That's what you got to look up to. Where are we going next?
We say, should we go to Emirates quickly? Quick tune or something
Okay.
light for you lot?
2-1.
Something light for you lot. 2-1. Oh, 2-1. Last minute goal, innit?
Yeah, last minute disallowed contentious little goal. I'm very happy that Arsenal are getting these wins over the line because it's very unlike us. If I'm being honest, and I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic, I don't see we're going to get unstuck, right? And it's coming because of just the previous season. We're going to get to a point where we can't catch a win in like 4 or 5 games. But I pray like we win what we're supposed to win, and the games in which that happens are the games in which might be tough, the big games. But because our attacking, I just don't trust like building up chances. It's just every chance counts at Arsenal, and I don't like the that's the mode we're in right now, where every single created chance means something. Whereas obviously the bigger teams and the more free flowing and attacking teams, you feel like they can, like City when they went down, I think they knew they're going to get chances. It's like, and even if they don't get chances this game, they're not going to go into the next game thinking we're going to struggle to create. But that's where Arsenal are right now, and I'm happy we're getting wins, even though it seems like, even though I'm not happy with where we are.
I'll quickly ask you: do you think there's an agenda? I've been seeing a lot of talk about refereeing performances in Arsenal games this season. Is there agenda? Do you think that's a real
Everyone
thing?
feels like it happens to them. So, but I would just like non-Arsenal fans to be honest, because they'll be the least subjective. I want them to be honest because it looks like it literally, like things are given to other teams which are less contentious, and ones that are clear cut are not given to us, and it's just like, why? Like there was 3 clear, or at least 2 clear chances
Yeah, no, I
that
saw
weren't
some.
like
I saw
penalties,
some of
and I
the
was thinking,
penalties.
why they don't even go to VAR more often than not. And it's not just this game. It's like we can always pick about 8 games a season.
The
8
lacquer
games a
one was
season.
nuts. The lacquer
Yeah,
one
the
was
lacquer one was nuts. There's another one in which they kicked maybe Ben White or something. There was another handball in there as well with Pinnock, I think. Then you go to several games, like a Wolves red card, I remember with Shaq or with David Luiz one time. You go to, I think, a Brighton match where like they rolled, they fouled Aubameyang on the halfway line, and it was literally a clear-cut
That
red
was the
card.
Aston Villa match. That was the Aston Villa match.
Yeah,
Where,
that's the Villa match or something. And then in that same game week, it happened, and someone got sent off. And it was just, it happens. There's so many. I'm sure if you check a comp, there's so many. But yeah, you can't blame you can't always blame the ref, but sometimes it's quite hurtful. You just have to know that these things happen to us and play your best to take out the ref from the game.
don't make the referee lose you the game.
Yeah.
We gotta go to another game of the weekend contender today. Ellen Road took it back real Sunday League. If you saw the state of that Ellen Road pitch here, I've seen swamps with better surfaces. That pitch was nuts. But
They should get fined.
You think so, bro? I was even thinking like none of the other pitches were this bad. None like
Anfield was bad. Anfield was bad the other day.
Was it bad?
Yeah, Anfield was bad against Norwich. It looked a bit, Anfield was bad. Patches and that.
It was West Ham. West Ham was the 12:30 kickoff.
Was the 12:30 kickoff? West Ham, Newcastle.
It wasn't that bad. City wasn't that bad.
It's London. It's London. It's London.
But what made me laugh about this game, is that it exposed the guys that don't have tech. Like if your tech wasn't there, you were struggling. When I tell you AWB and McTominay, this is not even me just picking on them. This was literally just watching. I was just like, oh shit, these are struggling on this pitch. Like your touch has to be.
Leeds, I think Leeds should get fined for that. There's a certain standard, and I feel like Leeds should get fined. That's wild. That's wild. Like you're a Premier, that is wild. That's actually think about it.
The conditions were mad. It was raining, fair enough, but nah, that was nuts. CJ said AWB was sliding all over the pitch, chaotic baller. Hey, when I told you this, like when somebody just wants to rub themselves in mud,
it was over a man in the face and wasn't getting booked.
Yeah, I don't know how. I said McNulty. I don't know how McTominay stayed on the pitch. I honestly don't know how he stayed on the pitch. I think he committed like 6 fouls, like 4 of them in the first half, like at least 3 or 4 of them in the first half. And there was mad unnecessary fouls. He only got a yellow card in like the second half. Yeah, he could have easily got sent off.
To be fair though, this fixture is quite high volume in goals. Like I think has there been a 5?
There's been 6. I think there was 6-2 or 6-3.
You had like 3 games.
Then 0-0. Yeah, 0-0 last season. And then
this season you've had 2 big ones.
5-1.
4-2 and 5-1.
4-2.
Yeah.
So to be fair, the Ellen Road one, I didn't really know what to expect in terms of goals because obviously last season it was empty 0-0. But when Leeds play like that, you're always gonna get chances on the counter.
I pray Leeds stay up though.
Huh?
Go on, we'll talk on Leeds.
Sancho performance today, 2 assists. Yeah, man, it looks as if he's finding himself, man. That's what you just needed to take time with it, man. You just needed to take time with it. He's finding himself small. He needs to keep up this level of performance though, because when he's playing like this, that he's unmovable in the starting lineup. He's genuinely unmovable. Like
go on.
I talk about players having good touches on like this exposing players' tech. You can just see that boy has just got all the tech in the world. That literally the ball does what he tells it to do. Certain players, they tell the ball to do one thing and the pass is shooting the next direction. When this guy's putting on a plate for you, if you look at the assist for Bruno's goal, that the cross is not easy. That's not an easy cross, but he wedged it, put it right onto Bruno's forehead. Great goal, great cross. That he needs to be playing at this consistently. And again, let me be his personal trainer during the summer. Make sure this youth don't slack off. I need to be his personal trainer during the summer. I ain't having to make another slow start next season. I ain't going for it.
He's seen Luis Diaz come into the league and hit the ground running. He said, "No, not on my watch." He said, "No." He said, "Not on my watch." Nah, I'm joking. I'm happy for Sancho. But
Leeds tax,
like respectfully, Leeds types. This is not why they signed you, not to be beating Leeds. But you play what's in front of you. So you just use this to build your confidence, I guess. Like when we go back to you in the start of the season saying he doesn't have to be the main man here. So I guess
Leeds should get relegated for bench and Rafinha for this game. Yeah, I can't lie. I don't know what's going on with Bielsa and Rafinha, but he needs to always be starting. Like I just maybe
first team on the
unless
team
it's
sheet.
tired because he came off half time against Everton, and then today obviously he doesn't start, which is it just seems he's your best player. What are you not playing him
Comfortably.
for? There must be something behind the scenes, because yeah, unless he's tired and he can't start, there's no reason for Rafinha not to be playing in this team. Literally your most dangerous player. Can it end where it started? You get it. You get it. Nathan said Leeds always strip for United. Hey man, strippers got to strip.
Can I take us somewhere, please?
Take the wheel.
I know we were in London, but I'm not sure if we're in West or South. So correct me if I'm wrong. But a certain £100 million striker got 2 touches in one half. One of them being from kickoff, and 7 touches, in the whole dance.
We're in South London.
We're in South. Okay, it's tough there anyway. So we were in Selhurst, Paddy V, and unfortunately weren't able to do it. Good old Hakim Ziyech got them out twice. Fortunately, one of them counted, the other one didn't. But that's not the talking point for me. Even though boring old Chelsea, it's the Lukaku thing, and all I'm gonna say on this is I don't know what the problem is. Is it looking like now if we put together Tuchel's work in that he doesn't know how to coach attacks efficiently, or is it a Lukaku thing and he just doesn't know how to use Lukaku well, or is Lukaku washed? So I feel like it could be another thing, but it's one of them 3 for me.
It's for me, it's a bit of a combination because
You have to.
as a striker, as you're like the £100 million man, you need to come get the ball as well. Like you need to demand the ball. Like sometimes
You're saying that on Match of the Day. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that was fair. They were saying that on Match of the Day. I don't think that's fair.
It's not. I think it's fair though. I think it's fair. Like at a certain point, you've got to try to do it. You're not getting the service. You need to come try to do it yourself. It's not unfair to ask him to add more to his game. It's exactly the same as what's been asked of him, or some of the questions that was thrown at him for a long time in his career, where he's always waiting for the service, or he's always like requesting the ball in this specific position. Like you kind of got to do it yourself and get yourself into other areas where you can make an impact. It's not always the case, because I also have to add, I don't think Chelsea are finding him in great positions either. Like they're not looking for him, or they're not going early enough to him. Fair enough, but like you're the big man. I can't lie. Go get the ball. Try and make something happen. I don't think it's unfair to ask.
What do you mean?
More
but it's never been his game to like come get the ball deep. He's not done that since Everton.
Not get the ball deep.
Or
get the ball deep
away from the back line.
Like, come to the right. Maybe dribble. Try to dribble at your left back. I don't know, but you have to mix
up. Goal. We'll be facing the goal.
Yeah, that's not like something incredulous to ask. Like, come.
He rolls defenders. That's his bread and butter, is rolling defenders. And the fact
you're not always gonna get in that situation, though, are you? And you're saying, okay. And we said he has the lowest amount of touches since they started recording these stats. That means you're not in the game. It means you're not in the game. You have to try to do something different. If it's currently not working for you, you say you want it rolled, you want to pin the defender, you want it rolled into you. That's not working right now. You got to do something different. You have to do something different. And it's not unfair to ask him to mix it up and do something to create for himself. Yes, Chelsea have structural problems in their attacking where the ball isn't getting to him in those situations where he's very dangerous. Very true. But if it's not working that way, you have to mix it up. You can't just keep doing the same thing, expecting the same.
I feel like it is Tuchel not playing to his strengths more so than him not being good enough, because why you're saying, yeah, that's not always going to happen, and I hear that, but it doesn't happen often enough. Do
I
you get what
agree.
I mean?
I agree.
So
I agree.
that for me
It
is the
don't
first
happen
problem.
often
And
enough.
then if that don't happen often enough, then you've lost. He's gonna lose his confidence because he's just so out of the game. So you're so one is like a byproduct of the other, if you get where I'm coming from. So what? So and then he's just gonna lose confidence. Then that Lukaku, I can't remember his last good game was Villa. Correct me if I'm wrong. When he was doing what he did to Mings, his last good
Yeah,
game was.
I don't think it was great that game, but he scored
No,
in it.
last good Prem game. No, he was good enough. Like he was.
Yeah, he
He
scored.
he scored. He scored. It was a little bit of a bully. He went missing, and then yeah, he was okay. Like, but
I think Nathan's made a good point here.
what did he say?
He's a transitional player. Why have people not realized it's not the NBA.
I was
man.
actually gonna say use an NBA reference, but without sounding corny. But it's very NBA like how he plays in the sense like kind of like a springboard, like that pick and roll kind of like
Like
stuff.
he works best when it's open, like the open space, and he can run into those spaces. But you don't like you play for Chelsea. There's
He
not
wasn't
many
like
teams
that
that's
at
got,
Everton. He wasn't like that at Everton though.
but that's where
Even though
you
it was a
that's
long time ago, it wasn't like that at Everton. So he's shown, and even in some when you're
it
seeing
wasn't like that.
when you're seeing compilations, sometimes even though they can be deceiving at Inter, he showed a lot more.
I disagree. I feel like a lot of his best work comes when the other team is out of shape and he can run at defenders with space. Because we have to think about it logically. He's not the best like in terms of tight control. We all know that, not even to cuss his touch or anything, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't work great in small spaces. That's just a
yeah,
fact.
yeah,
So he's going to operate best where there's lots of space to run into. He's a big bully of a
yeah.
striker. Like
Okay,
he's
Everton
fast,
when
he's
you're not
strong.
always the big team. Inter, Italian league.
Inter top of the league, yes, but they play a specific way that allows them to exploit counterattacks. And that's where he thrived. That's where he thrived essentially. So you're not
There's a
gonna
lot of
get
space
that
for
with
errors,
Chelsea.
and yeah, you're okay because everybody's always low against Chelsea. Low blocks
Everyone's like
against Chelsea.
nobody's really apart from Leeds and maybe Brighton. There's not gonna be a lot of team that's
That's a
really
manager issue. That's a
opening up.
manager and a Chelsea issue because BL, if we can figure this out, you should be able to figure this out before you signed him. And if that means if you knew this, you should be able to adapt where you can get the best out of him because you pay top dollar for
Again,
him.
that's but now it's on Lukaku to better yourself as a striker as well. Because you're right in the sense that
Lukaku off the
you're
hook.
right in the sense that he works best in a specific way. But again, like you're the big striker, big man striker. You said you wanted this move. Like you gotta also bring something new to the table. Like you can't be very one-dimensional and expect to be considered one of the top strikers in the world. Like you gotta bring something different to the table.
All I'm gonna say is this: to finish on Lukaku personally, he's just shown me he's really not worth 100 million. Not that we didn't know that before, but he's not worth 100 million at all.
Again, like £100 million strikers have to bring pretty much everything to the table. Like if you're £100 million striker, they've bought you because you're the guy. You gotta bring everything to the table. Like you don't just leave certain things out. Like you need to again, if you're getting four touches in a match, that's a disrespect. That's as the main striker in the team, you need to see 4 touches in the game as a disrespect. Like you need to either be demanding that they play it to me in certain areas, or go get the ball yourself and make something happen. Go get yourself involved in the game. Because you can't, like, you're getting marshaled out the game by Anderson and Gueye. Like literally that whole game pretty much marshaled out of it. Like very few times I saw him
and supposed to be so really and truly you're looking at maybe Tyrone Mings and Pablo Mari that you've done the whole pin-up thing against because
Tuanzebe as well.
And Tuanzebe. So it's just very, very selective. But okay. Just
Selective
we don't
bad
talk
boy.
of these 100 million have struggled this season, boy. Hold on a minute.
Yeah,
These
sure.
100
You
million
can't talk about one
coming
100 million man, then say that Grealish is gonna come back fit and fine.
Why do you have to talk about
sorry,
Grealish?
Sorry, my bad.
You can talk about Grealish when Grealish plays.
Sorry, my bad. My fault.
Talk about Grealish when Grealish plays,
My
man.
fault. You just said you said £100 million a lot. It just you know.
All
Just
right, all I'm gonna
triggered
say is this: if Grealish wins the Prem, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What sort of shameless logic? What
Doesn't
sort
matter.
of shameless logic?
Doesn't matter. So hold on, let
I
me
said
just get
Pablo
through some
Mari
of these
made
comments.
Lukaku look like R9.
Yeah, let's get through some of these comments. What's the next one? 40 mil, 40 plus. Separately,
Chelsea have been very, very poor this season.
too
Club
very
World Championship. Bro,
true. We got to get a
yeah, I
Chelsea
can't lie.
fan for the next. We got to get a Chelsea fan on. So we speak to CJ, get a Chelsea fan on, just to really, because we don't hear a lot. We don't hear a lot from them, but we got to get one on.
Their season. Who would have thought their season get derailed by losing wingbacks? No, you would have never thought it.
Don't
Whole
open
season
Nathan's
done.
next. Don't open Nathan's next comment, just because it's just
Really?
you don't spell certain people. Spell capital G as well. How rude. Anyway,
That's a Grealish in the industry fan. I told you people.
Anyway,
Grealish, man.
we don't. I feel before we round up. I don't think we touch enough on the relegation battle, but it's sweeping up. I think it's proper getting interesting now. With obviously Newcastle not losing in 4. Newcastle, I think 3 wins and a draw, which really that's like 10 points in 4 games.
That was a good draw. That was a good draw against West Ham
Well
as
thought
well.
out draw.
Good draw.
Well,
because they've lost what? They've lost Saint Maximin. They've lost Trippier. There's one other player that they lost as well. They lost another player to injury as well. But Willock came in. Willock played and he was very good. He was very good. Got his first goal, but even aside from the goal, he looked a lot more positive. Looked a lot more direct. Taking on like he's actually he's a nice little dribbler when he gets into his bag.
I'm not having that. Willock always looks positive. Willock always looks direct. Willock just can't finish.
He doesn't. Something.
Give over. Listen to me.
Stop.
Listen to me. Willock always looks direct. Willock always makes third man runs. And if he's carrying the ball and he ends up like, how am I here? How am I here? Hold on. Hold on. I saw your turn. Yeah, I'll let you go. Promise.
Land.
He either makes third man runs, which is fine, and he also carries the ball when he just ends up in a surprise situation. But it's just the finish. It's like he gets a lot of chances, he just doesn't put it away. Luckily, he put it away. So you saying he's more positive? I think he's naturally very positive.
I disagree in the sense that sometimes he looks very. Sometimes he didn't look how he looked yesterday against West Ham, where he looked like he knew what he was doing with the ball. That's what I mean when I say he's direct. That's what I mean when I said he's positive. Like he was taking players on, winning the ball back in midfield, and going forward, creating chances. Like that's what I mean when I say he's been more positive and more direct. Yes, in essence, like he makes third man runs, and that's what he's brought to do. But he does it all season. It hasn't looked like he's had the confidence to do that, or the confidence to take the ball and be direct and do something positive with it. It hasn't looked like he's had the confidence. Today, it looks like not today. Yesterday, it looked like he had he looked a lot more direct. Maybe it's because Maximin wasn't in the team and he had to take a bit more of a important role in the attacking. But today was, I keep saying today. Yesterday, his performance yesterday was definitely night and day to some of the stuff that I've seen from him recently.
Willock came to be a big man at that team, or a big player at the team before we knew the takeover was going to happen, and he's not really lived up to it since. Like he's made it permanent, fair. But one thing, and I'm not the biggest Willock fan, but what I can say is that positivity is one of his attributes. Maybe you mean it in the sense of like taking a man on, like physically taking a man on. Yeah, I don't think that's his style, but I feel like he moves forward with the ball always. And he always makes bursting runs into the box. It's just finishing. That's always the issue for me. No, don't start from there. Go all the way up. Shout out. Nathan says, shout out the Halen brother. Ricky says, Willock stock rising. Nate, sorry, go on, take over.
Shem says, Shem, you're bugging. CJ said, nah, Willock looks shy sometimes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the confidence hasn't always been there this season. The confidence hasn't always been there. And when Willock isn't confident, he's not bringing stuff to the game.
Man, this is shy. I just heard that shy. You lot don't watch Willock. You lot don't watch Willock.
He plays shy sometimes is actually a good way to describe it. Like, when he's confident and when he's playing like he played against West Ham.
Okay.
It's a different player.
So he had a 1-1 against West Ham. Poor result for West Ham, to be honest. slows them down because they've got a couple games on everybody that they've played. But them going, so that's Newcastle, 3 wins and a draw. That's 10 points out of 12 in 4 games. That's huge. So that takes them right out like the relegation zone and into the mix, into safety. So, well, you'd think they're staying up. Even Norwich as well. Before the whole around January, Norwich had a couple. I think they had 2 wins, or they played quite well. Dean Smith, the new manager, bounced. Obviously, they've not done well this weekend, losing to Liverpool, I think 3-1. But I'm certain it's kind of changing every time who we're certain is going down. Because at one point we were saying definitely Newcastle, or definitely Norwich, or definitely Watford.
Oh, we couldn't predict takeover attacks. I genuinely thought Steve Bruce will stay there the whole season regardless. Like I think if Newcastle didn't get taken over, Bruce would still be here and they'd be in the relegation.
Definitely. It costs to get rid of him, and why would you pay that cost? Because you don't want to be part of it. Then you had I think Thingy touched on it as well, Nathan, in one of the comments. You've got to go over quickly to the Amex. What the hell happened over there? Well,
hey, did you see a couple finishes in that game? You know, finishes.
3-0. A Brighton.
Work them.
The relegation battle was heating up.
You do not want the fact that Leeds and Norwich drop points in a week where Newcastle
and
got a
Everton.
good away draw.
That's what I'm saying. Everton's dropped points.
Everton lost as well.
The 2 teams, Everton, Leeds, and Brentford, the 3 teams that were saying safe, because there was a big gap. There was a significant about 6 points between them and those other 4 teams struggling. Now those 4 teams keep winning, and they've caught up to Leeds, even though they have game in hand. Leeds, Brighton, Leeds, Brentford, and Leeds, Brentford, and Everton. But
yeah.
I don't know.
If you haven't seen the goals, go check out Aaron Lennon's finish, especially because that was a nutty finish.
Just quickly, some people are quite. Go on, sorry.
No, in fact, go through. I'll ask.
I was going to say some people are quite upset with the yo-yo-ness of some teams. Nathan says if the Premier League lets Norwich and Burnley stay up, fold the league. Mr. Austin said Brighton are missing Dan Burn.
You see Dan Burn's performances since he's
Don't do this, man. We're not gonna have them Dan Burn.
What was that? What was he speaking? What was we speaking about, brother? What was we speaking about?
Stable Premier League. Stable Premier League.
Calm Premier League centre back.
Listen, Dan Burn. Remember him against Saka playing left back against Saka. It was a long day at the office, man. It was a long day when he's playing in the fullback position. But cool.
You can't see him.
Fulham's coming up, but they do this. Them and Norwich, they've got to get their own league. They can't keep doing this. They're wasting everyone's time. But go on. You were going to say something before.
Yeah.
Don't read that comment.
Yeah, nah. I was bugging. I've pressed it before. I read it, fam. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Mr. Austin's right. Bournemouth might come up there.
Are you not tired?
I love Bournemouth, but they had a steady 5-year run.
Bournemouth have proved their worth. I'm bugging. But Fulham.
No, the question I wanted to ask quickly. Odegaard. What are your thoughts on him? Apparently he had a good performance today. He had a good performance.
One of the best games he's had. He played very, very well.
Your thoughts on him changing? I know you was very anti Odegaard signing.
No.
So you said
I just feel like we.
In fact, go through.
All I'm saying is this. My main point is I don't think I would have spent 25 million on Odegaard. I feel like that money could have gone elsewhere. But if we get top 4 with that, like I don't mind us upgrading on Odegaard if we get top 4. Okay, money well spent. But I know because that would be an excuse to not buy someone better if we get top 4. But cool.
Fair enough. I won't berate you for that.
You lot, man. I ain't got an agenda against Odegaard, Mr. Austin.
You got an agenda against a couple people. To be fair,
I haven't got an agenda. I just feel like so we get into a good position now. We're gonna challenge for you know what. Let's get there first.
Talk about and get well soon, Arsenal. What's the last game I wanted to talk about? Oh, quickly. I have to shout out my boy Pedro Neto, man.
Oh,
Come back from a 10-month injury. I think it was a fractured kneecap. Immense injury. Injury.
it's a year.
Came back today. Huh?
I felt like it was a year. He was a year off.
Yeah,
A full year off.
Basically a year, 10 months, innit? But he was on the bench today for Wolves' 2-1 win against Leicester. Came off the bench for the final 10 minutes. And nah, man, I was happy.
Okay.
There's some comments I can't put on the screen. I can't, but that has killed me. Oh my god. I can't put this comment on the board though. Pedro Neto's a something baller. Nah. I'm happy to see him back. And it doesn't look as if he's lost too much of his burst, which is always a big worry when
Pedro Neto. We lost a year of that brilliance. And luckily he's coming back in a World Cup year. So hopefully he gets picked.
Him and Podence going to be crazy. Yeah, now Podence was hooping as well.
Podence's goal looked so casual, so routine, so effortless. Schmeichel got packed.
Barely any backlift.
Schmeichel got packed. Corners. I was thinking that was his eye line was out of his eyesight, but Schmeichel just got pocketed. I feel like I missed 3 o'clocks. You know, it was a great weekend for me. Great weekend, like just football. Just obviously, and now we're gonna go watch the All-Star game, but great weekend.
Literally. But that's been the final thirds. Premier League.
What have we got coming this week?
26 review. We've got a couple bits and bobs for you this week. You know, we like to keep you entertained at the final third. We've got United We Ball coming back this week with some very special guests. We're going to go through the United squad and determine who needs to stay and who needs to go for next season. Keep or Sell United edition. Make sure you tune into that one. That's going to be on Tuesday night. Wednesday night.
Wait, after your game, after the Atletico game.
No, we're playing on Wednesday.
Oh no, because I planned. I didn't know. Sorry, I thought it was Tuesday game. I was gonna just come into the stream. I was gonna after the game. I was just gonna come into the stream.
Yes.
Probably just host it.
Sick guy.
But yeah, go on.
But United We Ball coming back on Tuesday night. European review show for you on Wednesday night, reviewing the Champions League games. And then next week, Friday, we're going to have our very first edition of our FIFA Premier League preview show. So make sure you look into that one. That's a new show for you. We're going to be playing some FIFA, nice chill vibes. FIFA, talking about Premier League. Mate,
are you good?
Huh?
Are you good?
No, I got wiped. 3-0. I got notified. It was 3-1 by.
I was gonna say, don't lie, because some of the man were in that stream.
No. You know me. I keep it 100 with you, lot, man. I'm rusty. I'm gonna have to get my run. Tim kept telling me get my runs in, but I don't know if it's gonna help. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna run with it anyway. But that's been the final third. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening. Make sure you eat some good food. Get ready for work tomorrow. Have a great evening. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, all of that good stuff. Have a great night.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Wow, you should be in
just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you out. We build you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison.